Welcome to part 2 of my Dark Souls 3 walkthrough. In this episode we'll go from the Undead Settlement to the Crucifixion Woods, further on to the Crystal Sage, and finally the Cathedral of the Deep. Additionally, we'll briefly enter the painted World of Ariandel from the Cathedral of the Deep, only to unlock a bonfire and then go back again. As we have just defeated the curse-rotted Greatwood, we've now received a transposing kiln. We can give this item to Ludleth of Corland and then exchange souls of bosses into special items from him. The Hollowslayer Greatsword is a fantastic weapon for a quality build that focuses on both strength and dexterity.
Treat the Firekeeper not with...
Now, if you haven't already, I suggest you go and buy the Grave Key from the Shrine Handmaid. This will allow us to unlock a door down in the sewer between the Dilapidated Bridge and the Road of Sacrifices. In addition to this being a shortcut, you'll also encounter some items and the NPC Irina of Carim, who can teach you miracles.
Oh, who is that? Someone there? Oh, please. You have dogs around little creatures, so please, hold up. Oh, yes, there you are. And I am not entirely praised, the merciful gods. Oh, forgive, I am Irina of Carim. I came to this land. Your touch has freed me from the darkness. I am weak, but if it would not trouble you... Oh, thank you, I shall take my vows. I, Irina of Carim, so...
Another one of those unkindled, are you? Oh, you've no. I am Alan. Wasn't that I'm an own?
Here we arrive at a special elevator that can go both up and down. Also, we encounter the Onion Man, Siegfried of Katarina, who will cross our roads several times in the future.
Pardon me, I am Zeke, to be honest. Have you ever... Well, if I...
Every time the elevator is activated, it changes direction. So, if you want to change its direction, simply walk onto it and walk off again immediately. For now, I suggest going down with the elevator, as there is a bonfire located below us that is pretty close. Watch out for this frozen guardian, as he has very high mobility and rapid movements. The bonfire I mentioned is actually right behind this guy, so the easiest thing to do is to bypass this guy, open the door behind him, and light the bonfire. Then you can fight him afterwards. When fighting a real Outrider Knight, he can quickly close the gap between you and him, so staying at range won't help you much. Instead, try to stay close to him and carefully time your rolls when he swings his sword.
are you? I help anytime. Don't disappear like that. You had me downright worried. But thanks to you, I've unraveled the riddle of this. Anyhow, I'm no coward and I've a steady hand. How now? Think.
Jump down the roof of this building and approach the demon. Once it notices you and engages,
No!
Siegfried
You
of
should have
Katharina
waited.
will yell,
Well,
"No, you should have waited.
too late now.
From here, he will come to aid you in the fight."
I, Siegfried of the Knights of Katharina, fight by your side. Ah!
From here, if you run away from the demon will start focusing Siegfried. This can come in very handy as he has a lot of armor and you can get free hits on the demon. And he drops off fire gem.
That was quite a... But you mustn't get in over your head. We unkindled... But... To your... Long may the sun shine.
Very well, then take. Farewell, Ashmaid.
As we have accepted the service of Irina of Carim, we can now find her in the Firelink Shrine. Here she sells miracles. However, these miracles requires more faith than I currently have.
Have a pleasant journey.
I wish to trust you as promised, but first. Careful. Do not be gone. What is it? Oh, hell, anyone do whatever treat is taught us. Heavens, she was all thank you. Almost a relief. You can keep the ring as. Goodbye.
When talking to Yoel of Londor, you have the option to draw out true strength. This will give you a level up, and you can do this until you have up to 16 of the stat hollowing. Also, later in the game, Yoel of Londor will disappear from here, and you won't have the option anymore. So I suggest you do this now, as I didn't do. Also, Yoel has a shop with a few magic sorceries. Now that we made peace with the giant in the tower, we can go get the Undead Bone shot from the spear bombardment area near the white tree. I forgot to do this while recording, but I suggest you do it now. Go to the Dilapidated Bridge, get the Undead Bone shot, get back to the Firelink Shrine, and burn the Undead Bone shot to increase the effectiveness of your Estus Flask uses. Now, the next step is to get from the Road of Sacrifices to the Crucifixion Woods. Here you will encounter a lot of Corvian enemies. The best way to handle these is to attack them before they transform. If they are allowed to transform, they will become much tougher and hit you so fast that you're almost paralyzed by their stagger. Also, you will encounter a Madwoman with a very large butcher's knife and very little clothes. Here we reach the halfway fortress Bonfire. Next to the bonfire you will meet Anri and Horace. Horace will give you the insignia of the Blue Sentinels. Also, these two NPCs will allow you to get special items later in the game.
Oh yes, Horace. He's not very tall, but don't think ill of him. Without his help, I...
Here you will encounter some lycanthropes. Beware of these as they move very quickly and have long chains of attacks. Here you'll find Orbeck of Vinheim, who will teach you sorceries.
Indeed. However, what champion could it so that in exchange for my tea in the form of, well, very honor, I am all but unkindled. We will learn.
Here you find the Fallen Knight armor set, which is really good to have throughout the game. Here I came close enough to the twin Exiles to gain their attention. These guys can be quite hard to fight, especially if you fight them two at once. Fortunately, when I go down the ladder, one of them simply falls down. One drops the Heysel Greatsword, the other one drops a great club. Both of these items are really strong and some of the best items you can get in the game. Now we can upgrade our Sellsword Twin Blades to a +3.
Welcome, speaker. Very well taken.
And we can hit the soft cap in Vigor.
Farewell, Lemmy.
And we have another Estus Shard that can give us one more charge on our Estus Flask after we visit the Black.
Be careful.
Welcome, speaker. Very well taken.
Here we encounter the Crystal Sage. After hitting this boss a few times, he will disappear and respawn somewhere else. Once you get him to about half of his HP, he will start making clones of himself as well. These clones die by one single attack, however, since they are ranged, they can do a lot of damage to you before you find the correct Crystal Sage. Here I made the mistake of getting caught in the open instead of seeking cover behind the obstacle. Now we can use the Soul of the Crystal Sage to transpose 2 new items from Bloodleth of Corland.
Works very well, then take notes. Farewell, Ashen One.
here is another Umbral Ash that we can give to the Shrine Handmaiden to unlock more items in her shop. Finally, we reach the Cathedral of the Deep. It is important that you light the bonfire here before speaking to the NPC, Gale. Through the dialogue with Gale, you'll have the opportunity to travel to the painted world of Ariandel. I suggest you do this after clicking the bonfire.
Thank you. They of ash never fail. Just a moment, then. The painting of Ariandel. Well, rotted scrap of it, that is. Go on. Take it. Touch it. The ashes were too.
The painted world of Ariandel is a very tough zone. I suggest you clear this area as one of the last things you do in the game, but by going there now, we can unlock a bonfire and travel back to it when we want to.
How very unrich choice, the cold, quick, goal the sweetly rock. Yon butch Arian, so a sweet.
Now you can give the Shrine Handmaiden the Paladin's Ashes, and I also suggest you spend 300 souls on buying a torch. Also, I suggest you take your torch and put it in your offhand so you can swap between your shield and your torch easily. And here we find another Estus Shard. Now we want to continue on, and then unlock a shortcut that leads us back to the Cleansing Chapel Bonfire. But first we have to fight a lot of these nasty looking worm creatures, maggot grubs. When we get hit by these, they will cover us in blood-sucking leeches. This will cause your bleed bar to go up, and if your bleed bar reaches 100%, you'll take a large amount of damage. However, swapping our shield out with a torch will instantly toast these maggots, and our bleed meter will go down. And we're back at the Cleansing Chapel Bonfire. Here you will encounter a Cathedral Grave Warden. These ones have almost the same moveset as the Sellsword Twin Blades, and can be very tough. And here we have an Undead Bone shot, which again can be used to increase our Estus Flask effectiveness by burning it at the Shrine Bonfire. Once we kick this ladder, we have a shortcut back to the Cleansing Chapel. Now we can get to this place much faster in the future. Here you will see 2 Cathedral Grave Wardens patrolling very close to each other. As these are extremely hard to fight, maybe you just want to run past them. The distance to the next shortcut back to the bonfire isn't very far. Here we are inside the Cathedral of the Deep. Down here you can see a giant that will try to smash us in a moment, that we are able to fight later. Many places here inside the Cathedral of the Deep you can get baited by items laying on the ground. What isn't always obvious is that there's a blob hanging from the ceiling trying to jump down at your face. Try to watch out for these before you loot anything. And once again we're back at the Cleansing Chapel bonfire. Here you encounter a Cathedral Knight with a tower shield. This opponent is very tanky once he has his shield up. However, every once in a while he'll stop to channel a spell which makes him vulnerable. Some weapons also have the Shield Breaker attack that performs a kick if you press forward while attacking. If you currently wield the Sellsword Twin Blades, however, this move won't be available to you. In this room you will also meet Death from Above. In this case it's a Deep Accursed, or simply a Cursed Spider. When you take damage from this opponent, you also take curse damage, which slowly fills your curse bar. If this curse bar fills, you die, so don't let that happen. And this one drops the ring, Aldrich Sapphire. If you walk here while having an Ember active, you'll encounter Longfinger Kirk. This is one of the tougher NPC invaders, however, he doesn't have an Estus Flask. This is the first encounter I have with him, so I'm getting my ass kicked, and decide to sprint towards the Bonfire shortcut. And here we are at the cleansing chapel once again. Since I'm getting invaded, the bonfire won't let me rest at it. I could have chosen to summon the phantom by touching the yellow summon sign. However, since this is a guide, I decide not to, so I run out and die instead.
Looks riveting. Farewell, Anri.
When fighting these giants, I suggest you try to stay underneath his legs, behind his heels. He might look big and scary, but he's very slow moving. Here you have the Maiden, Vestments, and the Saint's Bident. Notice this weapon not only scales to strength and dexterity, but it also scales to faith. finally I managed to kill Longfinger Kirk, which gives the barb, straight sword, and the spiked shield. Fighting Giant 2 is much like Fighting Giant 1. However, there's a lot of blobs that can be hard to spot in the tar. If these are in the giant's AoE, the giant will hit them. However, they can cause a lot of blocking, so you can't escape the giant's hits so easily, which make this one much more tricky. Here you'll get the Drang Armor Set and the Drang Hammers. The Drang Armor Set weighs very little compared to its good stats. The Drang Hammers are a great weapon if you have a quality build that focuses on both strength and dexterity. And here we find the gate that opens out to the ladder shortcut we opened earlier.
Shame on you, you greedy guts. Thought you had a wit, didn't you? Well, say hello to the nice giant. He adores visitors. Help me! Have you shame? Damn.
Welcome, host. Very well taken. Farewell, Ashen One. Me.
So this is all from here for now. Take care.